What's up, y'all? Here for another one. Got a very interesting topic, actually. Ran into my cousin at the gym. He was going to a different gym, and I said, why? He said his friend was going there. And basically, his friend broke up with his girlfriend, and he is depressed. And now wants to hit the gym. So this is a very typical situation that happens. What I've seen, what I've noticed. Probably happens to all of us, but we get comfortable in situations. We get very comfortable. There's a complacency in the situation. There's some type of like non-maintenance approach, lack of gratitude, lack of foresight, awareness, where you're not cultivating and re-establishing the situation with yourself first and foremost. You know, you're not looking ahead. You're standing still in that endless loop. And so what happens is, things get a little chaotic, things get, a little bit stretched out, maybe a little heavy, and things fall apart. As things expanded, you couldn't hold up the weight, and you basically, you lose the situation because it's overbearing on your partner. And you know what? I'm gonna focus it more on the men on this. It's more of directed towards men's channel, so it's gonna be more on the men on this one. So yeah, as men, you have to be able to adapt and evolve and pretty much grow like the trees. They grow bigger and thicker. And for this gentleman who started going to the gym after the breakup, he obviously wasn't hitting the gym when he was in the relationship. So he wasn't exercising his growth. He wasn't being aware that he has to be cultivating the relationship, and most importantly himself. He wasn't aware that he had to have these duties and responsibilities in order to hold up his end of the bargain. And yeah, now he's in the gym. But my cousin said he's also depressed. So it goes to show that at some point, this young man, he held a relationship as the source of his happiness. He didn't have happiness in his work, probably, his profession, his career, his hobbies. He probably didn't have happiness, being alone. And so once the relationship fell apart, there goes his happiness. So yeah, it's definitely a unusual situation. And those things happen. Those things happen to a lot of people. It happens a lot. It really happens a lot. And I've been around people who have gone through that situation where, they're in a situation, they're comfortable, they think they're gonna be in this forever, they don't have to do anything, and then boom, the carpet just gets swept under the rug. I think I said that wrong. The rug gets swept off the feet, or the carpet gets swept off the feet. Something like that, but you know what I mean. And I guess my coffee hasn't kicked in. But yeah, they get a rug pull, and they're just lost. They don't know how to get back up. They don't know how to get back up. Things are difficult. Things are confusing. They don't know how to stand on their own. They use the relationship as a crutch to hold themselves high and mighty and alive and in touch with life. And now that it's gone, there goes their identity. There goes their source, right? There goes their source. And this is what I wanted to touch on as well is, I've been working on this, journaling this, but connecting to source, because obviously that relationship is not the source. That relationship is a gift from the source. Let me say that again. That relationship is a gift from the source. So you're leaning on the gift, not on the source. Source meaning the creator, God, universe, great spirit. The energy that puts food and water into my body, nourishes it. The one who puts these nutrients into my cells so I can continue to be alive and see, hear, breathe, taste, and digest my food. That's the source. If I get seeds, put it in the ground, some nice soil, add some water, and give it some time, it sprouts some food, literally, food. Be it the wheat, be it the quinoa, be it the corn. I'm Mexican, so las tortillas, you know, they're on my mind a lot. But yeah, it's like, it's basically that magic. Putting seeds on the ground and just watching it blossom. It's just something that gives you life and continues to get life and gets rid of that hunger. That's magic. That's some development right there. That is the source. Let me tell you, that is source. And that's what we all should be leaning on, source. And that's why there's like these laws and these like rules and sins called, like for example, gluttony, you know, the excessive food and, you know, ingestion of food and having pleasure in over ingesting food. Because now we're not leaning on source, now we're leaning on the pleasures, the instant gratification, the comfort, the luxury. And I'm not saying nothing's wrong with luxury. I'm not saying nothing's wrong with pleasure. What I am saying is when you have unawareness that you're overdoing it, when you have no awareness that you don't have any control, and it ends up controlling you. And that's something that happened to this young fella, where he let the relationship control him, be the source of his happiness. And once that partner of his decided, hey, you know what? This guy is he's a burden. I'm outgrowing him. Doesn't listen, doesn't man up, has no power, because he wasn't connected to source. He was connected to the relationship. In her eyes, I don't know. I didn't ask. But I would have to calculate. She was probably becoming the mom or something. Like mothering him because he was leaning on her instead of him leaning on source for his power, for his purpose, for his happiness, for his fulfillment. And so what happens is things go off balance, they fall apart. So now he's in the gym, but he's also depressed. So this is a lesson to everybody who comes across this video. It's like, it's your priority now to do, you know, the health work you need to do, to hit the gym, eat right, whatever you gotta do, do it now. You can't wait for an accident to happen. We can't wait for tragedy to strike. But at the same time, as the thumbnail of this video says, pain is a huge motivator. Pain is sometimes people don't wake up until they feel the pain. And you could tell them, you could show them, diagram, movie, TV show, show them. They'll be like, in one ear, out the other. in one eye, out another. But when that pain hit, and you can't sleep, you can't think straight, you can't do your basic necessities, you can't be present, you can't enjoy life. When that pain hit, that's when you know you gotta make a change and get rid of that pain. That's when you know. That's when they know the change needs to happen. And all the shoulda, woulda, coulda start coming in. Shoulda listened, shoulda done this, da-da-da-da, all the regrets. And as much as I don't like it, you know, I have to accept the fact that that's the reality of it. You know, if it's not for pain, people don't wake up. People's greatest pains is their greatest teacher, their greatest motivator. And so it's reminding me to shift my mindset from like trying to change people and to just becoming the best version of myself. Be and let witness. Be and let witness. That's what inspired people. Kind of like, damn, look at that guy. He's vibing different. He's moving different. Hey, what's up? Morning. Be and let witness. And when their pain hits, from whatever reason, from whatever situation, when that pain hits, they can come look at me and be like, dude, show me where I need to go. Show me what I gotta do. I know you told me last time I wasn't ready to listen, but now this pain's too big for me to get rid of. I'm ready to listen. So, do I believe that one could change it before the pain hit? Absolutely. Absolutely. And, you know, I haven't really thought about this too much, but it all depends on who you are. It all depends on who you are. Some people need that pain. You know, and some people are just wise enough, or they've been trained enough to calculate and see that, hey, what I'm doing is not right. I need to incorporate this. I've learned from other people. I've been around other people. I need to incorporate this. So yeah, I mean, we could all change at any moment. And the best moment is now. You know, this moment, become the best version of yourself. You know, go through all your habits. Go through all your habits, improve some, execute them, fine tune them, detail them. Make them sparkle, make them shine. You know, that's what builds up where you're gonna be. How you're going to emit your energy out on this earth. How you're gonna walk and influence people. How your family's gonna view you. It's those habits. So, take that into consideration. You know, I don't know why I'm gonna say this, but I am. You know, have some patience for some people. Have some compassion for some people. I know I didn't have it before, now I do. You know, some people are not ready to hear the message, even though they're inquiring about it, they're asking around about it, they're beating around the bush for it. And you know, sometimes they're not ready. You need to be and let them witness. And when that pain hit, you're ready to guide them to the direction, because they're ready, they're open, they're looking. So that's the topic for today. Hope you enjoy this video. And don't forget, take inventory, take action, and take care. On to the next. Peace.